get with this, cause this is where it's at. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy OlliWooDDA here with another Married at First Sight review. And this is season 14, episode 6, Dark Side of the Honeymoon. The dark side. Luke, I am your father. For my Star Wars fans, you'll come to the dark side. So one person we already know cross line is on the dark side. From Anakin to Darth Vader is my girl Alyssa. And you probably saw the title of this. Usually it's clickbait. If you see something like the worst ever, the best ever, is clickbait. Look, the hood that came off, that's how you know it's serious. No, Alyssa might be the worst wife ever that's been on this show. So, you know they do all the recaps and this and that. Let's just get into it. As far as Alyssa and Chris, they go out, play tennis. He's like, let's do something. You know what I'm saying? Back and forth. For her to be wanting to want such an athletic man, she came out there definitely not athletic. Not that I need you to look like Serena Williams playing tennis or something, because if you don't play tennis, you just don't play tennis. But just her whole, I hate to do like the body shaming this and face shaming, pretty this and that. But honestly, with her, we can get into it just because how she feels about Chris, yo. She puts it out there, we don't put it on her, yo. Yo, she's the most unathletic, most uncoordinated, this or that. Then she knew to come play tennis. She came out there in them old Roman sandals. That's why I call them the flat joints. She came out barefoot. I was like, oh, she came out this joint barefoot. She might get in. Nah. So that is a wrap. But I do have to say this, yo. My boy Chris, he came out there to play tennis, yo. Come on, man. He had the little shit tucked in. I got the beard good. Chris, don't tuck the shirt in the front, bruh. Don't do it ever. Don't ever do that again, brother. You look crazy out there. So after the game, though, this is where the good part. I shouldn't say the good part. It was the bad part, but it was good for the viewers. So once they sat down at the bench, he asked the questions like basically like, yo, what we gonna do? Like the honeymoon is about to be over. We flying back tomorrow, day after tomorrow, whenever. We flying back in a couple of days, and we're supposed to move in together. So what are we gonna do? Basically, he was like, yo, are you moving in? She was like, are you moving in? He was like, yeah, I'm moving in. Are you moving in? How could you just make that decision without me? You're gonna move in. I'm not comfortable with you. What am I supposed to do? But then she went into this little tirade, and she's talking about how she's like, I can't move in. He was like, no, you can move in because we're married. You get that? We're together. We're married. Regardless, like, you don't have to sleep in the same bed as me. And I mean, they always do the apartments, 2 bedrooms or what have you. You can move in. And she stormed off as she normally does, yo. Stormed off. She's like the person I was like, yeah. No, you stormed off, cried like the little girl you do, talking to the producers. I'm sure a lot of that was edited, what have you. But at the same time, the funniest shit was when she was like, look at how his hand gestures, she's so aggressive.
Look at his hand gestures right now. Even that is like, it's aggressive. He's just doing hand gestures. No, like, he's like pointing, like, it's just like, ugh.
And he was over there talking to some people in the background, like, yeah, you see that? Yeah, you see that? Yeah, that building, that architecture is so great. Look how oh, wow. Like, that building looks wonderful. And she's over there like, his hand motions are so aggressive. Look at him. Girl, if you see this video right now, I'm sorry. I probably triggered it. I probably triggered Alyssa just now. Look, Alyssa, she saw this. She was like, oh, tears came down again. Oh. At this point, can anybody take Alyssa seriously? I mean, I already told you what it is. And shout out, I hate to generalize. Shout out to my older parents out there. But look, when you saw Alyssa's mama and she's older, her parents are older, you already know what it is. Like I said, older parents treat their kids like grandkids. They get what they want. They're the center of the world. That's just what it is, yo. Because older parents ain't really trying. It's not even so much because older parents just don't want to deal with the hassle of discipline and hassle this. So just do whatever. Shut the fuck up. I'm about to watch my Matlock. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Matlock. I was trying to think of his little, his sidekick's name, the private investigator, the black dude. But either way, shout out to Matlock and the black dude. And the girl that worked with him too. All of them. Wonderful defense team. I get a murder. I catch a murder. Coming to Matlock. But Andy Griffin did his thing. I don't even know if it was Andy Griffin. Whatever. Who gives a fuck? It's a long time ago. They're old. But either way, old people spoil their kids. And I ain't gonna say spoil them as like spoil them financially, gifts and all. I mean, basically, they just don't feel like dealing with this shit, yo. I'm halfway old. My kids be doing shit. I be like, some days I just be like, yo, just let them run wild. As long as they ain't playing with knives and scissors, don't cut somebody, kill somebody. Motherfucker, just do what you want, man. Just don't bother me. And that's basically how she acts. And it's funny because her mama knows her mama already knows what she is. Her mama knows what she developed into. And that's why her mom's like, whatever, kind of siding with Chris almost. And she's getting upset about that because her mom knows, like, yo, I done dealt with you for 30 years, yo. I already know what type of person you are. And my bad, man. I shouldn't even be talking about Alyssa like that because she's a good person. She is a good person. No matter what happens. When you see this, you're gonna see I'm a good person. Yeah. I touched on this last video. Like, again, if you have to keep saying you're a good person all the time, you are not a good person. And one of my sayings is, I say is ain't no extra S's on that. One of my sayings is there's a couple thousand versions of you in this world, because everybody who sees you sees a version of you in their head. And the only version that matters is what you see in your head. And somebody told that to Alyssa, and she took it to the extreme, because in her head, she is perfect. And I feel bad now. I'm like, maybe am I creating another Alyssa? Like, yeah, I have some self-awareness of where you are. So we get into it. She goes out. We just don't break them all down in the beginning. Everybody knows what you're here to see. Alyssa and Chris. Alyssa goes out with Katina, or I don't know if it was Katina. Let's see, I'm trying to remember right now.
So you feel like you've done everything to try to make it work? Well, I mean, here's the thing. Did I come into this to find a husband? 100%. That wedding night?
No, it was both of them. She gave her side of the story. They're listening. You could tell that, I mean, they're cool with her, so they don't want to say nothing crazy to her. But at the same time, they already know what it is, too. So they're like, yo, you're not physically attracted to this man, so you was just a no from the jump. Just tell him. Like, why are you doing all this running around? Just tell him that we not meant to be together. You ain't got your ego tattoo. You ain't got your whatever, the tattoo the psychic told me. We are not meant to be together. And she's like, oh, yeah, maybe this and that. But she's just going through all her whining. Chris goes out with Lindsey and Mark. Tells his version, of course, which is probably closer to the truth. maybe not all the truth, but probably closer to the truth. And it all comes down to this dinner at the end. This dinner at the end. Oh, this is like the Last Supper type shit. You know, they go around basically doing all the same producer fed questions that they do. And it basically comes down to Mark and Alyssa. And I mean, I said Mark. Chris and Alyssa doing what, Chris asking some questions. Putting himself out there to see what Alyssa's going to say. So Chris basically went through his whole little speech. I'm not gonna lie. This is the one thing I will say about Chris. Chris is playing the long game perfect. Because any regular person by now would just be like, yo, you know what, Alyssa, fuck you, yo. My bad. I don't know if I can do that on YouTube, even though I'm cursing. But they were just like, yo, fuck you. It is what it is. We moving on. You go your own way. I'm gonna go my way. But he's definitely gonna play the long game on this. He's like, yo, I'm gonna make myself look good on this camera. I'm gonna ride this show out. Give me some followers and sell me some houses. Look, this is like, yo, I'm about to build my shit up. I'm about to be the real estate king in Boston. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, I just need to know if you're in or out. Because if you're all the way out, whenever I'm out, I just need 1% and I'll be all the way in. And if that's not the dumbest shit I ever heard, I will give it to Olajuwon, because Olajuwon had me, just for a split second, Olajuwon was talking like, yo, he poured his heart out and this and that. Olajuwon had me thinking like, yo, he really did something special. But honestly, it's not. When you think about it, it's not anything special at all. You are just disrespecting yourself. If you think somebody giving 1%, you should give 100% just because you're like, we're married, we're here for the long haul. Eventually, you know, come on, man. 1%. If you said 50%, I might be with you. 40%, 30%, I'm gonna look at you sideways. But 1%, if you're in this 1%, I'll give 100%. Come on, man. You're just trying to look good for the cameras at that point. And I'm not mad at him, because fuck it, yo. You got dealt this hand. You know, the producers, and that's the other thing. Producers not the producers. You go on the different forums or what have you. I stayed away from spoilers. I still don't know. I don't see how long this lasts. Hopefully, if I make it to like week 10 without no spoilers, I'm a boss. But either way, everybody's like, yo, why did experts put them together? If you still believe the experts are choosing these couples, you know, I got a bridge to sell you in some marshland deep in Florida on the outskirts of Tallahassee. Because guess what? The experts the experts ain't did shit. It's be funny. This cut in the joint. Pastor Cal. Well, we see that Alyssa and Chris are having some issues, so we just put together an activity for them to be together. Like, when it went, I was like, yo, this ain't the most dumb. They filmed all this shit even before the honeymoon even happened. Yo, they just cut and paste. They be like, yo, just say this. And I know all the experts got all the same sayings that they do. All the same advice that they give out. Just say that shit again. We'll just cut it in and out. So at the dinner, Chris confronts her. She comes out with some crazy plan as far as, the apartment, you can live there the first month. I'll live there the second month. Because the whole thing is about the experience. She says, I just want to be able, I just want to be able to go through the whole experience. I made friends with these girls. I want to be able to hang out with them. I don't want to have to drive over. It's not going to work. I just want to be able to walk down the steps, knock on down the door, and say, yo, you want to have a mimosa? I don't know where that voice came from. Why the fuck I do that voice? I don't know. But either way, forgive me for that voice, yo. Forgive me, because that was the dumbest. I might be the dumbest shit next to what Alyssa's idea. Which one's dumber, the voice or her idea? But either way, but Chris did hit her with a good line. You know, I can't front on this. Yo, he good on his feet. You know, he's might be pretty witty. Get him the right wife. They'll probably appreciate this. He was like, yo, this ain't a divorce. Like, we're not splitting time with the kids. I was like, yo, that was a good line. Good one. You got that one out. That's why I think Chris is in here for the cameras too, because he know what it is. He already knows she's out, and he just gonna do all this. He's like, I'm setting up my next 10 real estate clients and my next 10 Tinder dates, all in one with this line, yo. And he came down and sank that shot. Shout out to Chris for that one. So, of course, she goes into, I don't want to talk about it in front of the cameras, and I was mad at Jasmine and I didn't just say, I mean, mad's probably a little extreme. I was just like, because they was like, yeah, you shouldn't talk about this in public and this and that. I think most of that was just like, yo, this conversation is uncomfortable. I don't want to have it anymore. Yeah, talk about that shit behind closed doors. Because again, you already know all the questions. When they do these round tables, the producers feed them all the questions. Nobody comes in to, have you ever been out with your friends? And well, it doesn't matter if somebody married, first dates, and this and that. Maybe imagine if you were all your friends and all y'all were like, y'all been dating somebody for 2 weeks. People don't be like, yo, so who's consummated their relationship? Like, who's fucking? You fucking? You fucking? Oh. Like, come on, all these questions are producer fed. So they go through all that. They get back. They come back to their little, I don't even know. I can't even say room because they're not in the same room. I guess a hotel lobby. She comes. It's like, I'm still trying. He's like, whatever. And then he was like, we haven't even discussed like our values and stuff. She's like, yes, we have. He was like, well, give me an example. She was like, I don't feel comfortable talking about it in front of the cameras. But it's already been established that they don't talk off camera. Like, she refuses to be around him on camera. What makes you think she's going to be around him off camera when it's not contractually obligated? Like, this is the dumbest shit ever, yo. So, I mean, she literally might be the worst person ever on Married at First Sight. Even past my boy Chris Bless. Just because, I mean, he was definitely the worst, like, to come in with a fiance, somebody pregnant, this and that. But at least he just wasn't like, he told Paige what it is. Paige was dumb as fuck. I'm sorry. Yeah, she was dumb as fuck. But let's get on to everybody else, you know. Because enough of Alyssa and her double chin, skinny fat ass, you know. Too many people might told her she was pretty when she was a kid. I blame that on you, mama. You a nice lady. Try to get it right, but you didn't. All right, Jasmina and Mike. Boom. Jasmina and Mike. Jasmina and Mike. Jasmina getting the free pass. Shout out to Alyssa, because Jasmina is kind of like an ice queen. Mike's trying to have conversations with her a little more in depth. She really just kind of rubs all the shit off, yo. And I see why she's been in a lot of long distance relationships, because if you were dealing with her on a day to day, eventually you'll be like, yo, you're not really about shit. You just sit here and look pretty and say, I like K-pop and K-dramas. Like, she's really, I don't know. I mean, can't say how much screen time they got. I mean, they got a little bit. I mean, they did the little thing when they went to the waterfalls and this and that. She's trying to say, like, I'm just going to give them a chance. And honestly, this is what Alyssa should be doing. Because I think Jasmina is in the same boat as Alyssa as far as not physically attracted to her spouse. But she's just like, yo, we in here. Let's just make the best. We good. So, really not much to say. Honestly, a lot of this episode is not much to say. I want to shout out to Lindsey and Mark. You know what I'm saying? They definitely having their fun. And shout out to Lindsey. Yo, sober Lindsey is so much better than drunk Lindsey. And Lindsey, please, you may watch this one day. Sober Lindsey is a lot more fun to be around than drunk Lindsey. You just need to slow down on your drinks. But besides that, Mark, I mean, well, he's going through some shit where I still don't really understand the whole situation with this. He was like, his landlord is just some lady he knows, is older, looks at it like a mama figure. All of a sudden, he goes on a honeymoon. She's like, yo, you can't have cats and there's bed bugs. Like, where the fuck did bed bugs come from, yo? I heard of bed bugs in like hotels. Like, what beds you sleeping in, Mark? You bringing the bed bugs back? Like, bed bugs in hotels, I can understand because you got people coming from all parts of the country, all parts of the world. Mark, what beds have you been sleeping in, bro? Because if there's bed bugs, I can't even talk. Bed bugs coming home. Somebody brought them home. Think about it. But shout out to them. Lindsey took it on. She took it on quick and easy. She was like, yo, fuck all that. Fuck your landlady. Come on. We married now. We in this, we ride or die. And honestly, that's what I would have wanted to hear if I was married to somebody. Mark took it strange because he was like, I'm so used to like always giving, to have somebody try to like, you know, help him was a little strange. Which makes sense because that's kind of why probably this landlady was in this kind of power position over him, because Mark definitely seems like the most loving person per se. Like, he's like I'm not saying his intelligence level or his emotional level is like a child, but he's like a child in the fact that he wants to please grown-ups, like please people. So, only thing I can think of is either one, the landlady just been wanting to kick him out, or two, the landlady was like, he was my little sugar daddy. I was a cougar, but as old as he is, she's probably older than a cougar. I don't know what goes older than a cougar. A jaguar, a tortoise. She was a tortoise. They lived to be like 300 years old, 200 years old. Somebody Google that shit, correct me. But she was like the tortoise, and he was like the hare popping around. But they weren't in the race. She was like, well, I gotta move slow like a tortoise. She was like, take your shirt off. Some shit. Who knows? I don't know the fuck. But either way, it's just weird. And I'm sure this lady, whether it was in her mind, I don't think Mark did anything with the landlady. Let's get that out there. But in her mind, it was like she looked at it as like a romantic thing or a son thing, and Lindsey's taking her away. So let me just fuck all this shit up on the honeymoon. So that was just weird. Olajuwon and Katina. Oh man, Olajuwon. I told you last joint. I don't hate Olajuwon. I'm gonna get that straight. I don't hate Olajuwon like a lot of people hate Olajuwon. Honestly, I think he might be a good person now. I mean, down low, he has this little Isaac shit and whatever. I think he's living in the past. Honestly, he had a good strong run. It just keeps reverting back to that strong. Like I had to run, bro. I had to run. But now the hairline's coming back. If you don't know, like, shoot, my hairline's strong. Oh my God, look at the strong hair. I cut my hair down, but you see how strong the hair? The hairline is strong. His shit goes. He getting up there, and the shit probably ain't working the same. Like all them. Oh, you great. Look into my eyes. Take care of you. Like all that shit ain't working with these this is a new generation now. They're like, yo, what's my cash app is this? I gotta get my hair did tomorrow. What's up? So as this thing, he's kind of living this past. All this like pushing my wife shit. All right, like I said last episode when he mentioned it with them working out. I'm on horses, like just pushing and pushing and pushing. Like nobody wants to be tested every day, bro. We married. Like no man wants to have his wife testing him, and no wife wants the husband testing them all the time. It's one thing to get you out your comfort zone, but just to be pushing and pushing, eventually be like, nah, bye bye. Like I'm good. I'm good. I don't need this stress in my life. I got other, you know what? I got bosses stressing me. I got employees stressing me. I got customers stressing me. Clients, this, that. Nobody wants to stress at home. Home is the same. Home is where we hug. We don't want to stress at home. We hug at home. So that was weird. But Olajuwon's weird. But again, at the same time, off of all that, I think it comes from a good place. And I think they actually got a chance to make it. And then Olajuwon definitely was calling out Alyssa, and Katina was trying to clean it up, but she wasn't really trying to clean it up. She was just like, yeah, when they was doing a little interview. I mean, she was just trying to be somewhat positive. Olajuwon was like, nah. And then he broke out. He's like, my man, Chris, put it all out there. He was like, yo, he embarrassed himself for this woman. Like, what? But, yeah, Chris went all out, man. Shout out to Chris again. Your soul left that dinner. I mean, it may not have, but it did. Yo, trust me. Your soul. Shout out to you, R.I.P. Chris Soul. Last but not least, we got Steve and Noe. The Pisces. They may not be Pisces, but guess what? A fish was involved. They went to the springs and a fish bit Noe on the toe. And that's pretty much it. They smooth selling right now. I mean, as far as smooth selling as you can get. Of course, they got their differences and this and that. I don't think a lot of this shit's gonna hit till they get back home and he ain't working or he doesn't have a home. And that's when noise I'm like, well, what the fuck you gonna do? Like, I want like 800 kids. Because anything over 2 is just 800. I don't do 2 to 3. I don't 1 to 2 to 650. 1 to 2 to 800. Like, cause that third kid, I can't even imagine. I got 2 kids. A third kid right now will motherfucking feel like a ton of kids. I mean, how many babies is in a ton? Hold on, I'm about to look this up. Y'all about to hate me. God damn, y'all. Ton, pounds, 2,000 pounds in a ton. Most babies, they be like, my baby, the big baby, like 8 pounds. What is it? Do 2,000 divided by 8 is big. We do 7. So 2,000 divided by 7. That's 285.7 babies. So we don't round up. That's 286 babies. So you go from 1 baby to 2 baby. 286 baby, because it's a ton of babies. Fuck all that. Especially if he ain't got no job. He's like, yeah, we'll see. We'll cross our bridge when we get there. But I think most of their dramas don't happen when they get back home and they just have to deal with real life, because his real life is kind of like a fairy tale. So his real life is on some Peter Pan shit. And honestly, I shouldn't say that, because that just makes it be like, oh, I can't even talk. Be like, that makes it seem like he's really out here just like on some fairy tale Peter Pan shit for real. I mean, he's made a choice about how he wants to live, and if he doesn't want to be tied down to, as far as just like, for lack of a better word, don't call me a commie, tied down to this capitalist society where I need to work this get a job, get a house, the picket fence, 2 cars, 2.5 kids, this and that. If he doesn't want to be tied down to those capitalistic social norms, good for him, man. I mean, honestly, I wish I could think like that or live like that, but nah, I like my TVs in my house, in my car. My kids like playing Xbox and shooting hoops. And I like playing Xbox and shooting hoops with them. So that's not my lifestyle. But if you are about that lifestyle, good for you. I mean, honestly, that's probably the best way to be. Because once the zombies hit, who's going to be more prepared? Me playing Xbox or you out there in the field camping all day? The zombies are coming. All of us dead. I watched the series. So that's what it is. Married at First Sight, season 14, episode 6. I mean, really, this episode was all about Alyssa and Chris. I don't know how long they can carry that shit out because I get this like 2 more episodes of their drama. I'm gonna be tired of this shit. I'm like, yo, just end it. Because I would already ended this a long time ago if I was Chris. But it is what it is. Married at First Sight. Once more time. Well, I said once more time. One more time. Goody in the hoodie. And you know what they tell you? What I'm going to tell you, I should say, is doesn't matter what the mayor says, only matter what you hear that matters. Doesn't matter what the mayor says, only what you hear matters. When the mayor tells you you are old, dusty, and grounded, you say, no, I'm young, fresh, and fly like an eagle.
I think you'll get with this, cause this is where it's at. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with